What's going on, guys? Real Trader Joe here, bringing you another portfolio recap. Glad to have everybody with us here on a fine Thursday evening. Apologies for the late stream. I had some good news come in at a last minute that I kind of had to take care of. It was pretty time sensitive, and then I just decided to take a minute, take a breather, and sort of just not detox, but decompress from work. If I'm detoxing from work, I think different conversations need to be had. And my mind is all kinds of jumbled from all kinds of craziness today, including the craziness that we witnessed here in the markets today. YM, NQ, and ES all either barely positive or barely negative. Huge reversal in the markets. I mean, you can see the VIX here up 122, up 9%, almost a 10% volatility increase. And I know this looks good for us, but we had our fair share of pain today as well. It wasn't all sunshine and smiles in Wonka land, although I would like to go to Willy Wonka and go to his whatever world he imagined, because the world he made is pretty good, so I can only imagine the world that he imagined, right? I mean, Chocolate River. If you got a Chocolate River, man, we gotta take a swim. You know what I mean? I really can't even swim that well, and I'll just live there. You know. Anyhow, yeah. So I mean, YM. I mean, look at this reversal. I already had this kind of set, but just on an hourly basis today, right down. You know, death stored, and good for us, right? Blood in the water, and I'm more than happy to take today's price action. Most notably, looky here, Coinbase. You know, this is exactly what I was kind of hoping was going to happen. We had that slight rally, like I talked about, and I said, no, not a problem, all good, because sooner or later this thing is going to go down, and when it goes down, it's going to go down hard, and that's exactly what happened. Not that I'm any predictor of what's going to happen, but my whole point of yesterday's recap was that I did not at all mind a brief rally in that stock, because look at that. Closing at 92 and change, and almost putting us in danger of being, guys, if you can believe it, delta neutral. We are at 20 short deltas, and that is pretty close to neutral, if I say so myself. I mean, 20 deltas, not a lot, and as we've gone over these last couple days, this gamma risk is going to push us closer and closer to delta neutral as time goes on. I mean, if we just go forward 2 days to Monday, we go from 21 delta to 14 deltas if we don't move at all from our current position. So, you know, coming up on Monday morning, delta neutral is going to be looking at 89. So we're right about there. You know, any more downward movement, and I know I said we were going to hold on to this guy. I did a lot of thinking about it. I actually emailed Dr. Jim Schultz about it, but I think we're going to hold on. I think we're going to be all right. The reason I say that I think we're going to be okay is because the strategy that we have implemented in place is working. We could potentially get assigned these shares on the 97 put, but if you look at where coin is relative to the inverted strangle, it's right where we want it to be. It's right between our short strikes. Obviously, the ideal situation is for it to be around 86 or something like that, but like I said, this scenario is going to change, right? It's going to evolve. And if you look at the magic that we got going on here, this is why selling premium is such an important piece of what we do here as Tasty Traders. We collected $9.76 on this order chain. Yeah, we're getting smashed right now on this option. It's $5.33 collected, and whoever took this $8 option from me as my counterparty is doing exceptionally well. They are at $8.47, but we, over the course of these rolls, have collected $9.76. Let's just call that $10 for easy math. So we are not really in trouble on these shares until $87, and we're not delta neutral until well past 87, I'd say. Yeah, 86 and change. So all that said, we're gonna hold on to this guy. I'm okay letting this ride. Remember the short call that we have at 70, which has, as of right now, $22 of potential intrinsic value at expiration. That guy runs the show. Still, he's at 78 deltas, and this guy's gonna inch up and compete with him. But I'm more than happy to get assigned right now on this 97 put, because we have collected $9.76. And if you think about the logic of a roll and the logic of an options trade, a roll is when you are closing one position and opening up another, right? So if we just think about this roll in the context of what has actually occurred with the contract, we have taken our gains. In this instance, we're getting smashed as far as the 70 call goes, but we're just worried about the 97 put. We closed our existing gains, and we opened up an option at $5.33 to our current counterparty. Whoever's on the other side of this trade has currently paid me $5.33 for the right to have me buy 100 shares of their stock. In other words, for them to put their 100 shares of stock to me at $97, and they paid $5 and change for that right. They are just about ready to exercise that right, because their break-even point would be at least 92, because it's 97 minus 5 is 92, and it's going to be 91 and change because they paid 33 cents, so it's going to be 91.67 if my math serves correctly, is when they're going to break even. And they are probably going to be happy to assign us the shares at $91 or $90 because they will have a profit at that point. We, however, will also be profitable as well on the trade overall because we have until, let's just call it $10 from 97. So we have until 87, really, before we have to be worried. So if we get assigned at 91 or 92, we have $4 approximately of cushion credit to work with. What all that transpires to is that if we get assigned this 97 put at 92 or 91 or 90, I am more than happy to sell those shares back to the market after I purchase them and then establish a new option, right? Because we will have been assigned this option. We'll just collect those credits. So my whole point of this speech is that unless Coinbase goes to like $87, I'm happy to get assigned on this option, bandit the credits without having to wait the extra time out to receive them all. Because remember, if we get assigned, we just keep the credit that we got for the option. So in a way, the buyer of this option would be doing us a huge favor here. You know, exercising their right and assigning this, because we would be just taking the 976. That's just bandited. That's just ours. They're just out that. And then we can open up, we can immediately just buy the shares back, or not buy them back, sorry, sell the shares back that we are forced to buy. And then we are back with our naked 70 short call, and we can choose to do whatever we want. Like, if we didn't have this short put sitting here, I would be more than happy to just go into this $8 weekly and just do it again. I mean, I don't have any problem going in here and selling like an 88 before earnings or something like that. I mean, I'd even go, you know, to the 87 or 86, pick up an extra $3. Seems like easy money to me. Coinbase still has to fall another $4. We don't really have any problems till about 82-ish, and then we just repeat the process all over again. Now, of course, there are a couple caveats here, right? And I apologize, guys. I don't have the stream up. I'm just going to get the stream up momentarily. Give me 1 second. Okay, now I have the stream up. So, you know, if you have any questions or want to say hi, put it in the chat. But moral of the story, guys. Still short on Coinbase. Doing great. We're right where we want to be. And I would be more than happy to take the shares here. I know that would be a large buying power reduction, but we're already at a large buying power reduction. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, by the way, our buying power reduction has actually decreased on this position. We were at 94, 9,300. We're down to 85 now. So we are getting more capital efficient on this position. There are a number of things we can do. We can wait. Hope coin has a little bit of a rally. I know that wouldn't be good for us in the short term, but you can see this theta is really starting to add up. 30 cents of theta per day, and that's just going to get closer and closer, to pretty much taking the full value out of the option. I mean, if you look around at the extrinsic value, we have almost half the extrinsic value in this tiny little $8 option, $8, 8 days to expiration option, as we do this 141.70 call. That's how screwed our 70 call is that we have almost half the extrinsic value of that 70 call in this tiny little 8 days to expiration thing. So, all that to say, on Coinbase, not worried. Not worried at all. We're right where we want to be. This is exactly what we thought was going to happen. And, I mean, we're not really going to start feeling some pain until, I mean, Coinbase would have to do this like one or two more times. I mean, we'd probably need another, what, $6 down day. So this would have to happen again before we become delta neutral. And then obviously, as this gets closer to expiration, our deltas are going to become longer, right? So like in a couple days, we're not going to be as happy to see it at like 87, but we're still going to be fine. If we get assigned, I already kind of hashed that, but assignments, no big deal, man. So I am thrilled with the way this is going. We are improving rapidly, leaps and bounds from where we were, and I wouldn't mind if this battle continued for a little while longer. We'll be well positioned to probably sell another option before earnings, try to make bank on the volatility decrease. I'm hoping that Coinbase goes down a little bit further, and we can kind of run away from the decrease here. I'm kind of hoping to just outrun the falling knife, hopefully. And that is a bit of a gamble, but we will worry about that when we get to it. So that's Coinbase. Micron. There's a lot going on here. So Micron had a heck of a day. You know, it was closed at 67 and change, and then today closed at 71, so went up quite a bit. Sort of gave us the business here. I mean, we had the 65 straddle on already, and we did not need that rally. That was not good for us. So I actually kicked this out in time and went to the inverted strangle. So I'll kind of show you that. Hate to say it, but we have another inverted strangle on. We ended up, if we go to the order chains on this position, yeah, so we've done a ton of adjustments here. We started with the 55-65 straddle. That 65 call, by the way, totally underwater now. So we adjusted the untested side, rolled to the 60 put, rolled to the 65 put, giving us that 65 straddle right here, and we buy that back, and we actually went to the 67.5. Well, if you remember earlier in the day, this had quite a bit of a rally, so we were at like 72.5, and I was thinking, man, this is just bad news. I mean, we're already at the we went from the 65 in August to the 67.5 in September, and that's not cutting it. We're at 72, so we're just going to go ahead and invert, and that's exactly what we did. We inverted the 72.5 put and the 67.5 call, so that's what we're left with. We're smack in the middle of our inversion, still short, amazingly. But it's not, this one hasn't been pretty. I mean, we're down $300 and change. The position has not been open that long. We're in the 50 days to expiration cycle. IV has elevated, but it's not really that high, so not looking good. It's been a rough ride so far. Hopefully we can get Micron to just calm down a little bit. And we're just going to have to ride this one out and see what happens. Fortunately, Micron is only a $70 stock. And we are slightly bullish in AMD, so that's important to note. We are diversified in the semiconductor sector slightly. We have a bullish strangle on as of this moment, although the recent rallying in AMD is going to make us neutral. Earnings in 5 days. I'm probably just going to chill here and wait till IVR gets to its absolute maximum before rolling. There's an argument to be made for rolling tomorrow. I would like to kind of see what happens, but I'm not really at all opposed to that. I mean, you're going to get, I might even keep the 125, go down to the 90, 95. I mean, we got a lot of room. IVR is super high. We're going to get a credit for doing this. Life's good. I'm really not that worried about AMD unless something crazy happens. Earnings, they could screw us up, but it is what it is. That's sort of the cards that we're given here. So I might hold this guy until Monday, see if we can get any profit here, but pretty much neutral on the position, unfortunately. XOP going our way. All our persistence in rolling this guy may finally pay off. XOP down about $1. If we look at the chart, it was much higher than that. It was at 140, and we closed the day at 137, so I'm happy with that progress. Makes our 136 straddle a little bit better. we're going to get a little bit of a more favorable roll as we look to go into the September expiration. Probably roll into the 138 here, picking up a whopping $4 and pretty much covering the expected move, even though IVR is only $3. I've also been playing around with just doing something like that. I mean, that's kind of a super tight strangle, but it does give us some buying power and does increase our probability of profit a little bit. Pretty happy with the way that's worked out. I may just hold that for a few more days and see what happens there. Palantir, we ended up just getting out of Palantir. I said we were going to hold on to it. I said we were going to just try to make a profit. We did. And we're at 15 days to go. I don't see any reason to, at this point, take on excessive gamma risk, especially given our mollywhopping in Coin and Micron. I just figured it was probably best to just take some risk off the table, take some gains while we have them, free up some buying power, and kind of just sit back for a minute, look for better opportunities. Oracle, not much to write home about. We made that adjustment yesterday, and I was happy to say that adjustment worked out. Seems to be doing pretty good. And then Spotify, right? So Spotify actually kind of coming our way also. That 470 making a huge difference. IVR increase kind of denting our profitability a little bit, but I feel better about these options. We have the 140. We can always roll this call down if we need to. I'm not opposed to taking an active role in these positions. I mean, if that's one thing Coinbase has taught me, it's that you can stay active, you can do things, and they can work. So more than happy to just kind of sit tight. But I do want to stress that today was not as good of a day for me as it looks like. I mean, it looks like I'm up a ton of money. I'm not. This Micron position really kind of screwed me. You can see all the adjustments we made. And that was just to kind of stay alive. We're still down $330. So one thing that I do want to highlight or elucidate is the importance of, I guess, carrying, or the effectiveness in this case of carrying a short delta portfolio, right? We've been getting smashed as the market has rallied through most of the year, but our bearish bias has helped us here in this market reversal. You can see the VIX up about 1 and 22 hundredths to 1441. Anybody that was long today was probably feeling some pain as they got the volatility increase and the downward move. And this is one of the rare cases where the market has gone down, and we have benefited as a result of having short delta, kind of protecting us from that volatility increase. So was more than happy to be a beneficiary of that, in addition to having some of our positions be a little bit more manageable with the reversal. And if you look at the beta weighted deltas, if we sort these, we're really not that short anymore. I mean, we got 12 short beta weighted deltas here and 11 here, but by and large, our bearish bias as a result of our rolls and this downward move is essentially gone. We are almost delta neutral from a portfolio perspective. Certainly not having the 1-to-1 bearish delta ratio that you would expect in a traditional bearish portfolio. So I'm kind of with the rest of the bulls here in the sense that if the bleeding continues, we may start to experience some pain even. More than happy to see Coinbase and XOP shed a few tears, but the rest of my positions are pretty much either delta neutral or just very, very slightly bullish. So happy to see that my portfolio is kind of leveling out. This is, from a macro perspective, exactly what you want to see as a neutral trader. Sort of the bulls and bears exhausting each other. You got to have a little bit of both to really be effective and just play on time. So moral of the story, today a good day, but we have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of red here in this open column, and we have a long way to go before we're profitable on really any of this. So today was a good day. Hoping tomorrow will contain limited movement or much of the same kind of reversal type business. And the weekend should hopefully help us out with some of this theta. That is one of the great things about our portfolio, is we are carrying a boatload of theta, 35, 55, 65, 70, 80. We're into the 90s or the hundreds here. 35, 55, 65, 70, 70, 80. That's pretty much 85 right there. That's going to be 91. Yeah, so about 97, 98 theta. And feeling good. Feeling good about Coinbase. It's going to be a long recovery, but I think we're going to be all right. Honestly, I'm probably most worried about Micron at this point. That inversion at the 50-day to expiration mark, not what you want to see. Hoping we get a reversion in price here, but even so, that reversion in price, we're not going to be bearish very long. We're going to be bearish till about 68, so I guess it could undo its gains pretty much, and we'd be slightly bullish at that point. The one thing we do have going for us, $6 in collected credits. So, there's a good chance this expires here. I mean, if it rallies, it rallies. It is what it is. I've dealt with worse with Coinbase, and we will continue to carry on. But that is all I have for you guys. Pretty short recap, but a very eventful day, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next recap. Peace.